This year's Dasai celebrations come to a conclusion later today as it is Kojagrat Purnima Day today. Those who missed out on receiving tika and blessings from elders will do so today. Meanwhile, the Israel-Gaza warfare continues to intensify as Israel has expanded its ground operation while bombarding Gaza Strip throughout the night last night. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres scheduled to arrive Nepal tomorrow for a 4-day official visit. Progress in transitional justice and climate change to be among the issues of interest. This year's Dasai coming to a conclusion today with Kojagrat Purnima, the final day of the festival. Lunar eclipse to take place later tonight. Israeli bombings in Gaza intensify as it expands ground operation. UN General Assembly approves a non-binding resolution calling for a humanitarian truce. And Nepal's squad for the ICC T20 World Cup Asia qualifiers announced. 4 players that played in the Tri-Nation T20 IC is out. Sandeep Manichani makes a return. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres is scheduled to arrive Nepal tomorrow for a 4-day official visit. The Nepal government and the permanent unit of UN in Nepal has finalized the agendas of Guterres' visit and his list of engagements. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had extended invitation to Guterres during his trip to the US to attend the UN General Assembly back in September. Guterres, who has served as Prime Minister of Portugal, is with the UN on his second tenure. He is expected to land in the capital's Tribhuvan International Airport at 1 p.m. He will be received by Foreign Minister N.P. Saud, and he will then hold a meeting with Saud in the day, followed by separate meetings with Prime Minister Dahal and President Ramchandra Paudel. This will be followed by a joint meeting with former Prime Ministers of Nepal. Guterres is also scheduled to visit Patan Darbar Square before attending a dinner hosted by the Prime Minister. He will visit Solukhumbu and Siangboche on the 30th of October to take stock of the impacts of climate change and then return on the same day to attend a program by the UN House in Lalitpur. He is scheduled to reach Pokhara and stay there overnight. The next day, he will take the Annapurna circuit trip from Pokhara and address the media after returning. Guterres will head for Lumbini after that and then return to the capital to address a joint session of both the Houses of Parliament in the evening. Guterres will conclude his trip to Nepal on Wednesday.
We know that just across the border there are 2 million people without water.
It's Kojagrat Purnima today, the final day of the ongoing Dasai festival. Those who have missed out on receiving tika and blessings from their elders will continue to do so today. Some communities receive tika only on the 10th day of Dasai, while others continue to observe the festival for additional 5 days. The Nepal Calendar Determination Committee has said that tika can be received until the full moon day of Kojagrat Purnima, that is today. The Calendar Determination Committee has said a penumbral lunar eclipse will be witnessed between 9 minutes past 1 a.m. tonight till 38 minutes past 2 a.m. A penumbral lunar eclipse occurs when part or all of the moon passes into the Earth's penumbra. This causes a subtle dimming of the lunar surface, which is only visible to the naked eye when about 70% of the moon's diameter has immersed into the Earth's penumbra. Today's lunar eclipse is expected to see Earth's shadow cover 6% of the moon. It is said children, elderly and those with health issues should refrain from eating and sleeping during the lunar eclipse. Astrology experts say chanting prayers and taking a bath during the eclipse can produce good results. A few astrologers have prepared to witness tonight's eclipse from Udaipur's Bhagalpur, Biratnagar's Children Park and Pokhara's Bhadrakali. Data from Ministry of Health and Population shows that around 50,000 minor to severe burn injuries are reported every year. However, despite the large numbers, the infrastructures to provide them with the medical support remains largely inadequate. Most hospitals lack facilities and human resource to deal with such cases. The number of burn cases reportedly go up during winter season. Based on the records of Kantipur Hospital, during the Nepalese month of Bhadra, the hospital received 50 burn cases and 70 a month later. The hospital says over 90% of the victims are from out of Kathmandu Valley and majority of the overall patients have sustained the injuries to fire, hot liquid and some are electrical burns. Due to lack of infrastructures, Most victims out of the valley are compelled to reach Kathmandu to treat their injuries. However, even in the capital, facilities are inadequate. For instance, Bir Hospital and the Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital lack a separate unit for burn victims. Likewise, there are only around 50 plastic surgeons in the country to help support the burn victims. The apathy, meanwhile, on part of the Health Ministry remains unchanged. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what can be done to facilitate burn injuries in the country itself? Your options are A. Build infrastructure, B. Create human resource, and C. Expand service. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we've asked people in several provinces what should be done to make the government's plan of establishing industrial villages at local levels effective. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
औद्योगिक ऐन कानुन बनाउने, औद्योगिक क्षेत्र बनाउने, सो सम्बन्धी नियम कानुनहरू बनाउने र कार्यान्वयन गर्ने तहमा चाहिँ एकदम व्यवस्था गरेको पाइन्छ।
काल्पनिक नीतिहरू ल्याइरहेको कारणले चाहिँ धेरै अब युवाहरू पनि विदेश हिँड्नु परेको र यो औद्योगिक ग्राम चाहिँ सफल हुन नसकेको। बिना योजना, बिना अध्ययन यो औद्योगिक कार्यक्रम ल्यायो, त्यसकारणले यो सफल हुन सकेन।
सरकारबाटै गडबडी जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ।
सरकार आफ्नैमा व्यस्त छन्, कसरी सरकार बचाउने, कसरी चलाउने, जनताप्रति केही चाहनै छैन। उद्योगतिर त झन् के सोच पुर्याउँछन्।
भिजनरी नेतृत्व प्राप्त नभएको कारणले यिनी कापीमा लेखिने, नीति त कार्यक्रममा लेखिने मात्रै गर्छन् र यिनले कहिले पनि सफलता पाउन सक्दैनन्।
सरकार आफ्नै पार्टीमा व्यस्त छ, जनताको काममा के ध्यान दिन्छ?
सरकारले नीति नियम बनाए पनि मतलब त्यो स्पष्ट खालको प्रभावशील खालको छैन।
बजेट ल्याउँदा चाहिँ जनमुखी ल्यायो भने कार्यान्वयन हुँदा चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ कतै पनि कार्यान्वयन नभएदेखि नै भा हुँदा
वृद्ध भत्ता खाने बेलामा कुर्सीमा राखिएको छ, के विकास गर्छ त्यसले?
दक्ष जनशक्ति स्वदेशमै रोक्ने र स्वदेशमै उद्यमशीलता विकास गरी देशलाई समृद्ध बनाउनका लागि नेताहरूले ध्यान दिनुपर्ने थियो।
उद्योगलाई व्यवस्थापन, बजारीकरण देखि लिएर यिनी सबै कुराहरूको पनि समस्या यो कारणले पनि अहिलेसम्म खास यो औद्योगिक ग्राम अथवा यो उद्योगहरू सञ्चालन हुन सकिरहेको देखिँदैन।
स्थानीय सरकारले चासो दिन नसक्दा नै
सरकारले आश्वासनको मात्रै एउटा चाहिँ खेती गर्ने भएको कारणले चाहिँ नभएको,
नागरिक पनि सचेत नभएको कारण
अहिलेको राजनीतिले नै गर्दाखेरि
स्थानीय तहको त्यो ग्राउन्ड रियालिटी नबुझेर माथि बसेर सङ्घीय सरकारले चाहिँ एउटा हचुवा तालमा बनाएको योजना कुनै पनि हालतमा लागू गर्न खोजे पनि त्यो लागू हुन सक्दैन।
Time now for international update. Explosions were seen from southern Israeli skylines as Israel said it was stepping up ground operations in Gaza. The United States and Arab countries have urged Israel to delay the operation in Gaza, which could multiply the number of civilian casualties in the densely populated coastal strip and might ignite a wider conflict. There are also fears about what a ground invasion would mean for the more than 200 hostages reported to be held there by Gaza's ruling Islamist Hamas movement and other militant groups. The United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly backed a resolution drafted by Arab states calling for an immediate humanitarian truce and demanded aid access to the besieged territory and protection of civilians. While not binding, the resolution carries political weight, reflecting the global mood. It passed to a round of applause with 120 votes in favor, while 45 abstained and 14, including Israel and the US, voted no. The Palestinian death toll from Israeli attacks have reached 7,326. Likewise, the number of United Nations staff killed in Gaza has increased to 53 after 14 lost their lives in the past 24 hours, according to a statement from the UN Relief Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA. The past 3 weeks of the Israel-Hamas war has been the deadliest period also for journalists covering conflicts in decades. This is according to the Committee to Protect Journalists, CPJ. At least 29 journalists have lost their lives, which includes at least 24 Palestinian, 4 Israelis and 1 from Lebanon. Nearly 640,000 out of 1.4 million internally displaced people in Gaza are sheltering in the 150 UNRWA facilities across the Strip, the statement said, adding that some of them have been killed at school sites operated by the UN Relief Agency. A man suspected of killing 18 people in a shooting in Maine has been found dead after a 3-day manhunt. Suspect Robert Card, who was 40 years old, was found dead, according to CBS News. The news comes hours after police lifted a shelter-in-place order for the normally quiet community. Among the dead are a grandfather, a talented young bowler, and 4 deaf locals ranging in the age from 14 to 76. It is unclear where his body was found or how he died. Police are due to hold a news conference from Lewiston City Hall at around 0300 GMT. The police earlier on Friday released the names of all the 18 victims. They also banned hunting in the towns of Bowdoin, Lewiston, Lisbon and Monmouth to prevent gunshots being heard that would prompt calls to emergency services. Australian authorities have urged thousands of people in Queensland state to evacuate as bushfires that have destroyed at least 30 homes continue to threaten rural towns. More than 35 bushfires were burning on Saturday, that is today, in Queensland, with the town of Tara, about 890 kilometers north of the state capital Brisbane, among areas most at risk, according to fire authorities. Australia faces a high-risk bushfire season after the onset of El Nino weather event associated with extreme events such as wildfires, cyclones and droughts. Queensland Fire and Emergency Services issued an emergency bushfire warning today that included Tara, with a population of about 3,800, urging residents to leave immediately. Emergency warnings were also in place for nearby rural localities of the Gums, Wayambilla and for the rural areas of Colosseum and Mount Tom, about 510 kilometers further north. Nepal's national team head coach Monty Desai has announced the squad that will participate at the ICC T20 World Cup Asia qualifiers with 15 players in the team. Desai has excluded in fact Surya Tamang, Lokesh Bam, Shyam Dhakal and Sagar Dhakal this time. These 4 players had participated in the Tri-Nation T20I series that concluded just yesterday. Meanwhile, Sandeep Lamichhane, who had withdrawn his name from the Tri-Nation series, has made a return to the team for the qualifiers. Head coach Desai has this time around included Kushal Bhurtel, Asif Sheikh, Kushal Malla, Deepender Singh Airi, Sandeep Jora, Gulshan Jha, Sompal Kami and Abhinas Bohra. The team will be led by captain Rohit Paudel. The other members are Pratish GC, Vivek Yadav, Lalit Rajbansi and Binod Bhandari. The ICC T20 World Cup Asia region qualifiers will begin in Nepal from coming Monday. Nepal is in Group A alongside Singapore, Oman and Malaysia. Group B has UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait and Hong Kong. Nepal's first match is against Singapore on Monday, which will be played in the TU Cricket Ground in Kirtipur. The final will be played on 6th of November. 2 teams that reach the finals will qualify for the World Cup 2024 to be hosted by the US and West Indies. Nepal had debuted in the T20 World Cup in 2014, however has failed to qualify after that edition. The matches of the qualifiers will be played in TU and Mulpani cricket grounds. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.